Hello.
Hi guys, and welcome back to a little bit of everything family. This is your favorite YouTube channel that has a mother-daughter duo reacting to your subscriber suggestions. Welcome to the Eminem show. No, not the rapper, and no, not the candy. Just Emily and M.A. reacting to your subscriber suggestions. We don't know the name yet. Eminem show, Eminem podcast, Eminem hotline. I don't know, whatever you guys want to call it. So radio station, um, reaction channel. You guys haven't given me a name yet, so maybe we could do that. Anyways, special shout out to, excuse me, I burped. Special shout out to those subscribers that are on here giving us work, because you guys give us work, especially Julian. Yeah, you especially. I'm just kidding. We love it. We enjoy it. We like to do it. And again, we're listening to the Sway video, right? So you guys wanted us to finish the Sway interview. I don't know if there's another part to this, but this is part 3. We'll see what Eminem says at the end to see if this is the final of the interviews, and wait to see what he has to say. So this is the Kamikaze interview, interviewing Eminem by Sway at Shade 45. So here we go, guys. We are off.
Jessie Reyes is featured on this project. Young up and coming star.
Jessie Reyes.
She's on 2 songs. How did you find Jessie Reyes?
I was coming home. I got home one night from a video shoot, actually. And she was on TV. It was the Seth Meyers show. And she was doing that song, Gatekeeper. And I was like, who the fuck is this? Because her voice to me was so crazy. So I rewound it. And I was like, oh, shit. I gotta check her out. So I went down the wormhole of looking up shit. And I was like, yo, I really want to fuck with this chick. Because she... Right now, my personal opinion, I think she's gonna really blow up. That's my personal opinion. I've seen people, very talented people, not do that, but I think that I would put my money on her that she will absolutely be huge. But I don't even know if, like, necessarily in the pop world or anything like that. I don't feel like she does pop music. I feel like she comes from a real place, and she writes her own shit. First time I got in the studio with her, I played her a couple beats, and she just started writing to one right there. Laid a hook. Good guy. I was like, oh shit.
So she wrote the hook.
To Good Guy.
To Good Guy.
Yeah. The one she's singing at the end.
1, 2,
Yeah.
3.
There's nice guy, good guy.
Good guy.
And the reason that happened is because, oddly enough, she had already had a song
Sorry, we charged
called
them.
Nice Guy. She had that song, right? So I think that was the last day I was in LA. I came back home and wrote to that one. And then I was like, I want to write to the other one too, but they're both saying nice guy, good guy. And I was like, fuck it, I'll make it like together one song.
Dre's all over this project?
Dre's input was all over it. For sure. He felt like me and him had a couple discussions about the last album. And one of the things that he said to me was, he was like, he hit me up one day, he was like, yo, I don't like how motherfuckers are talking about your album. And he had heard Revival, right? Him and Jimmy Ivy in here sat in there and listened to most of the songs I had done at Rick and Lee Studio. And based off that reaction, I think Dre was a little confused too when that happened with Revival. Probably not more so than me, but we had a conversation earlier in the year, and I think I only had one song by that time. This was like January.
Yeah.
I had the one song, and
I can't find it. Oh my gosh, it's right here.
and then another song got when I got back to January.
Sorry, guys, that was me. Sorry, all the noises. I'm trying to get my patch on. Sorry.
Already recorded it. Like, okay, now I got 2 songs. I might as well do a fucking album. And that's kind of how that came about. But Dre also...
There's 3, right?
There's a couple songs that...
Right? We're just making sure it's part 3.
Just because he didn't have a good reaction to him, and he also felt like one of them's going a little far.
So if you're asking what kind of patch I'm wearing and why I've been asked, what patch when we go on live, like why do you wear the patch? Like what is this patch? And what does it do? If you guys are into holistic medicine, I also just ordered, and this is nothing to do with the video, and thank you, M, for I'm gonna stop you with Jesse Reyes and Dr. Dre and what he thought about the Kamikaze album and some of the concerns, right? What people were saying about the album and whatnot. I think it's great. I think it's a 10 out of 10. Like I don't care what other people say. But got back to the point. So if you guys are into holistic medication, for example, Chinese medicine or Korean medicine, they deal a lot with very organic from the ground um, ingredients. So what they did is I special ordered a patch. They come in packs. This was a pack of 60 patches, and they kind of look like this. It kind of looks like a big band-aid. And what it has is it has a lot of the nutrients of the earth to stop anxiety altogether. So what it does, it gives me a calming sensation. It kind of burns at the beginning. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like, oh, because I've gotten like, and it does stick to your skin pretty good if you leave it on for more than 8 hours. My problem is that I forget about it. I forget about it. I forget it's on because it feels good. It has like a soothing, like almost warm, kind of cold at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. You would have to. But anyways, this is a Korean product, and it is good for anxiety. It's good for sleep. It keeps you asleep if you have trouble like sleeping, insomnia, and stuff like that. And not everybody's good with holistic medicine. And I am not giving. I never said try it, but you should try it. Especially if you're like suffering from insomnia or anxiety, panic attacks, stuff like that. This really does give you a sense of relief, and it gives you like a little bit of. It might not take away all the symptoms, but for me, in my particular case, it has helped. I'm not saying that I haven't had episodes. I have, but it seems like they're less intense, if that makes sense. And that's why. If you guys ask me like, why do you wear the patch? I also wear like a patch under my ear, and that helps so much with the vertigo. But I try not to use them as much because when you use them consistently, like every day, and those you can get them at the store, Amazon. There's called motion sickness patches. They're for vertigo. It's like that sensation where like you feel like you're on a boat and it's always going like this, like that. That's what vertigo is. And I use them, but if you use them too much, if you once you take them off, you get side effects to that. So I try not to use them as much. I just kind of just cope with it, and hopefully it goes away. But it hasn't since I got problems in my neck. Anyway, so here's the video.
Talk about the whole rant.
Sorry, it's a rant, but it's good to know, you guys, especially those who suffer with these kinds of conditions, to know that there's other options. I'm not saying to try them, but if you want to, you should.
What does that mean? Like, how far did it go?
It definitely went too far.
When you say go too far, I feel like Kamikaze was the place where if you were ever going to go so-called too far, this is where it would be. You
right.
did the BET verse for the rap cipher, and in it, you covered a lot of content that was relevant to the world we live in today that some folks want to sweep under the rug, and this is my own personal opinion. Conversations we have every day on Shade 45 on Sway in the Morning. We talk about, the injustice, policies, prejudice. We talk about discrimination, all of these different things, whether or not we're in the middle of a race war that is trying to be perpetrated by people in power. Mm-hmm. Not a war in the sense where people are going to pick up guns and shoot at. Well,
I feel like I've heard this before.
Right. But in terms of psychologically, the whole nine. So when you did that first on the BET cipher, what I thought why it was necessary, King Crooked had a song
Doesn't it seem familiar?
Where he
Have we listened to this?
I feel like we've listened to this, but we'll listen to it again. But
if we have,
yeah, but this is part 3. Is this part 3? There's 1, 2, and 3, and I was going in line, but I feel like I've heard this before. He talks about Trump. Let's see, but we'll listen to it anyway twice. I mean, what's the harm?
He talks about, man, we can't just be the only ones saying this.
White rappers shouldn't stay quiet.
White rappers shouldn't.
See, I've heard that before.
I can't tell you how hard that line hit me. It was.
Remember?
To the point where I'm like, this is how strong I feel about something.
He's gonna talk about Kaepernick.
And I saw shit where it was like, oh, these are not new subjects. They're new to Eminem, and that kind of shit.
How did you respond to that reaction? You got backlash for that. You know, especially when
I got backlash for the Trump cipher, and you know,
that's about Trump.
What it is. At least when this shit is all said and done, maybe I can just be on the right side of history.
Facts.
But you got people dissecting the bars and going, "Oh, this shit is trash. It's not even that good," and that's not what it's about. You're missing the whole point. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to say this also to my fan base who might have voted for him. A lot of people in my fan base probably did. And at the time I did the cipher, I realized after it was all said and done that maybe I should have just attacked him.
When you said you drew that line in the sand, maybe you should have not done that. You should have reworded it and showed empathy to.
Well, that's what I realized after I was done. That's kind of how I felt, because it's like, okay, this is backfiring on me, and I don't care. I don't give a fuck if that's what happened and hurt my sales. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I care about.
He was caring more about
the message.
Sorry, we have to kind of intercede, but he was caring more about the message in politics, right? Like how he felt where politics was going, and the rhetoric, right, with Trump saying certain things, or a lot of people could relate because they are part of the Republican Party, and hey, that's your voter right, and a lot of people can relate as a Democrat.
Trump.
Yeah, you know, my daughter really likes Donald Trump. There's just policies that make sense to people, and that's why they vote for a certain candidate, and there's policies that people just can't relate. And one of my things is, and this is just me talking, okay, an opinion. This is just an opinion. This is an educational channel too. Do your research before you vote. You've got to look at all policies. You have a vice president right now that's running for president, and you have an ex-president who was president at one point in time. Look at the policies. Look at the numbers. Look at the poverty levels, unemployment rate. Do your research and skip the rhetoric. Does that make sense? Before I go and make Miss America who I want Miss America to be, I need to know who Miss America is. Because she can be pretty on the outside and she can talk on the outside, but who is she really within, right? What is her motives? Why does she want to be Miss America? What is she gonna do for me to be Miss America? Am I gonna get anything out of it? You know what I'm saying? So in politics, pretty much the same thing. Leave the rhetoric at home. Leave your perceptions of what's being said or misconstrued in the media, because the media will do that, and do your research. That's what he's saying. But I said it a little bit better. Yeah.
Who's saying?
I'm trying to convey.
Eminem.
Why you felt the need to stand up though? What was that for you?
Because he's
because
will the real Slim Shady please stand up? Hello.
Because I was just watching it every single day. I watch a lot of news, right?
Yeah.
The thing that pissed me off the most, that really set me off when I started
Kaepernick, watch.
Going crazy with the pen, because I'm like, the Kaepernick thing.
Told you.
And when that shit happened, how he kept changing the narrative.
Still salty about that.
Fucking
his choice.
I can't. I don't want to get into this whole Trump thing anymore. But
So we have seen this.
We have seen this, you guys, but we're gonna continue to see it because we already started it. We know that Eminem. Well, you know what?
You know what?
There probably was no part 3. This was probably it. Just part 3. But anyways, we'll continue it.
Well, you mentioned at the end of the ring.
Emmy's gonna go drop off a plate. She'll be right back. So we already seen this.
To your house. Did the Secret Service really come to your house after that?
They came to my studio, yeah.
Okay.
And they were just basically asking me questions about my lyrics to see what the intent was behind them, and if I was making a actual threat or just expressing myself. So
that really happened. Wow, that's crazy. Right now, what we're seeing too, because Colin Kaepernick was named the face of Nike's 30th anniversary.
So I have to say something here. Okay, so this is exactly what I mean when people. Okay, this is one of the questions that I've been asked, and even I'm crucified about. Is like, why do you let your daughter listen, being at 13, listen to rap music, listen to stuff like this? This is the reason. See, this is it. You proved my point. Eminem proves my point.
It takes the Secret Service to go to his house to ask him if he was actually going to threaten the president of the United States, or is he just forming an expression of how he feels. Eminem is known to express himself in very weird ways, very different ways, very artistic ways. And that's how I feel that music is. Music is a form of art. It's like a painting, right? Any Picasso painting, any Leonardo da Vinci painting, whomever your painter of choice is. I'm using those, Michelangelo, the ones that we know of, right? They have a specific style of painting. If you see a painting where there's a man that has cut the throat of a woman, does that painter automatically, we are going to assume that he's a murderer? Of course not. He's expressing an artistic view of what he's at the moment feeling. He might be feeling some kind of oppression, or maybe he's in the dark era of painting. We see that. I've heard a lot of art teachers. Well, I used to be a teacher, so you hear a lot of art teachers say, there's a darkness to painting too, or you can like paint a dark door that reflects the internal of you. And I'm like, a door? Yeah. Could it be you're entering into the person's mind, into the person's heart, and that's why it's reflective on their art. We don't know everybody's expressions. Eminem says it lyrically, right? He'll express what he feels. Sometimes he'll do it in a kind of a comical way, but sometimes he's being really serious. Like right now, this is about politics, so he's taking a stance, right, with the Kaepernick thing and all that. Kneeling instead of like standing up and being patriotic. If you don't know, there's religions in the United States, because we have the freedom of religion, right? We have the freedom to choose what we want to do. They do not stand for the national anthem. It is they're not. They do not. They don't vote. They don't involve themselves in politics. I can't say their religion because that'd be disrespectful, but they just don't. And that's their right. It's called freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom to do what you want with your persona. So I found that kind of silly too, that they took it that much with Kaepernick and him kneeling and all that stuff. I felt it was just a little overdone, honestly. And I felt that, him now no longer in the NFL and all that. For that, I don't know. I just felt like that he had I think he had a bad rap, and he was only expressing himself, and that's it. If he doesn't want to stand for the national anthem, that's on him. He's being unpatriotic, that's on him, right? And we can't presume that he's in the wrong. That's his mentality. You can't presume my mentality. I can't presume your mentality. I can't presume Emmy's, right? So we can't go over there thinking, oh, this is the worst thing you could do. It's a disrespect to our country. And how many people in the United States don't go around doing some creepy things like burning the American flag? I've seen that done in the Midwest. Like, people are doing this in disrespect and holding up a different flag. And I'm not going to mention the flag either, what flag they're holding up. Which is even a worse disrespect, right? Burning flags is a disrespect. Actually a crime. But I'm just saying, just don't make assumptions.
So just do it. You saw that, right? And then you got a whole slew of people that are now burning Nike shoes and Nike.
I saw that
products.
It's infuriating.
Yeah,
it's infuriating.
Yeah,
like really, Nike supports people who kneel for the anthem. At this fucking point, come on.
He's just tired of it.
Seriously, you gotta be a fucking moron to think that that's just what it's about, and it's that fucking cut and dry.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I feel like I remember that part.
There's a meaning behind this shit, and there's real pain behind this shit. And you're burning a fucking pair of shoes when you go about your fucking day and you got your job and you're thinking about all this other shit. That's what really fucking bothers you. People ain't gonna stop watching football. They're just not.
That's a true fact.
Football to me is the best sport there is.
Same.
And
we know
what draws you to the game should not be if
Kaepernick
that's how
played
you
for
feel
them
about your country and you feel like you should stand for the anthem. Stand for the anthem.
Facts.
That's fine.
Yes.
But you also need to realize that this is America and people have died for these rights.
Exactly. So what people go to war for is for us to have freedom. And Eminem's right. We have these rights. If you want to go to anywhere you want to go and they're going to play the anthem and you want to stand, that's your freedom. That's your right. But Kaepernick has the right just like everybody else. That's why they go to war, right? To do this. So we have that option. Okay, even though many people will say, well, that's kind of disrespect. It might be to some, but not to all. To Kaepernick, it wasn't. So that's his opinion.
To be able to protest and to be able to take a knee.
That's true.
Stop making it fucking personal about yourself.
That's facts. Yep.
You
I
have
agree.
nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
I agree.
Sorry for the silence.
Dead silence was like, whoa.
We got to get back to
Oh, like my thing is all twisted.
Tyler the Creator, man. I'm a big fan of Tyler. And
We're gonna talk about Tyler the Creator now. I told you we've seen this before.
A big fan of yours growing up.
So I don't know if I think it said part 3. Sorry guys, we're gonna see this again. Double whammy.
Yeah, for sure. And you said some great things about them as a talent, as pushing boundaries, as a group, our future as a whole.
Yeah.
What happened with you guys?
Yeah, no, I really did like them. I thought I thought their movement was really cool too.
Did y'all make music?
We didn't make music.
Mm-mm.
But
they got into it, no?
I just felt like there's a mutual.
They got into
respect,
it.
And
there was some like something happened, and they just stopped all their projects.
Tweety put out with talking about Shady 15 and why can't people that are close to him tell him that his shit sucks and it's trash. And, okay, listen, man.
I hope these like microphones
you
are
don't
better.
Have to like it, and it could really suck. But being that somebody really was cool to you.
Yeah, he talked about this.
Some kind of reciprocation, and just don't go public with it and publicly express your opinion and how much my shit is trash. Okay, so I chalk it up to them being young and just kids. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, I've been there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I was dick when I first came out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, man.
I've been there.
I know. Yeah. I feel bad about it. I'm sorry if I ever was a dick to you, but I don't think I ever was. Was I?
Yeah, one time, man. But hey.
Oh yeah.
I remember that.
I remember.
He
said, yeah, one time, but who's counting? Yeah.
That's what you said that last time.
I know. I'm gonna repeat that video.
Yeah, that's true. We'll talk about that. Nah, man. So I liked him, and then Earl Sweatshirt gets in an interview after Tyler trashes me, and then Earl Sweatshirt. Anybody who listens to Eminem is drinking too much Mountain Dew, and
I remember that too.
Yeah, I was like, really?
Okay, whoever listens to Eminem is drinking too much Mountain Dew.
I'm drinking too much Pepsi.
She drinks Pepsi. I drink water. I make fruit water. Today I decided to make watermelon water.
I only like it when.
And I love Eminem. And I don't drink Mountain Dew. It has too much sugar, and every time I drink Mountain Dew, I get panic attacks. So
Pepsi first,
false.
Pepper second, and then Mountain Dew third.
Yeah, Mountain Dew is not really for us.
I like Mountain Dew.
Like,
it's just not my
fuck?
thing.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys were just on tour with us. We hung out. Like, we kicked it, make jokes. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so the last straw. Like, look, I know a lot of this shit. I could come across being very petty.
Yeah.
But at a certain point in time.
Not am being petty. Not Eminem. Not at all.
Someone has their breaking point. You know what I'm saying?
We do.
So
we do.
When Tyler tweeted out the thing about Walk on Water, this fucking song is horrible. I was like, all right. I need to.
He's right, and I have to intervene. Okay, I have to intervene. It is true. Okay, you can say this happened, and you guys know what happened, right? In the live yesterday and another live prior. You push a person, and Eminem's right. You can push and poke the bear, and the bear is gonna be calm, right? I'm the bear. I'm called, what could you call Mama Bear, right? You can poke the bear. Eventually, the bear is gonna attack. Keep it up, okay? Because no matter how, okay, my profession, and I think in the live, you guys will know if you were in the live. If, a professional, look at how professional you are. Look, bro, I'm going to say this. And this is coming from a human me, okay? The human side. Forget everything I studied, forget everything else. I'll throw it out. First and foremost, I'm a mother. That's my number one responsibility. Yes? Okay. Then, after being a mother, I'm a protector and a provider, okay? I have to protect and I have to provide for my family. Yes. Thirdly, I'm my profession. So, as Eminem said, you can poke the bear, right? But you're gonna come to that collision where it's gonna be the bear's already tired of you picking and picking and picking, and the bear will lash out and it will attack. That's how it is. It's in our intuition. It's part of who we are. If you continue to like insult me and you continue to bully me and you continue and you think you're smart about doing it, you're gonna poke the bear enough where the bear is gonna attack. It's that simple. It's just human nature. Does that make sense? I hope it does. And yeah.
Say something now, because this is fucking stupid.
Yep.
You know? But at the same time, I'm not gonna let everybody just keep fucking. I'm not gonna be America's punching bag and motherfuckers just want to think it's cool and safe to say whatever the fuck they want about me.
I think it shocks people, because for all your career, you was the I just don't give a fuck guy.
Right.
That can work both ways.
How so?
Because you don't give a fuck, you will fire back at somebody who says something about you. I picked and chose who that I wanted to say my piece with, because a lot of those things were personal. But then there's a lot of things that aren't personal in Kamikaze. You know, it's just the game and competition. You know what I'm saying?
Spirit of an MC.
Spirit of an MC, yeah. But you know, with the Tyler the Creator thing, man, I realize now, and I realized when I said it, but I wasn't like in the mind frame of. I was angry when I said the shit about Tyler. The fact of like every time I saw this kid, like always so cool. You know what I'm saying? Like I loved his energy, like everything. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a funny dude. Like he's super charismatic and shit. But I'm sitting back like, man, at what point do I have to say something just to defend myself? And I think that the word that I called him on the album was on that song was one of the things where I felt like this might be too far, because in my
The homophobic.
in my quest, in my quest to hurt him, I realized that I was hurting a lot of other people by saying it. And at the time, I was so mad, it was just whatever. But in the midst of everything else that was going on this album and the things that it took to pull this album together and all that kind of shit, it was one of the things that I kept going back to going, I don't feel right with this. Before the album came out, I had the conversation with Paul and we spun the word back. But now I realize people can hear what I'm saying anyways.
In the case of this, man, I feel like just, man, I wish you and Tyler could sit down and
I remember this too.
hash that one out now that you
Remember
fired
that?
your shot back and he said what he said, because I think that's a special young man, and he could probably use your mentorship, and you could probably feed off of what he has to offer as well. I could tell it's different from Joe or some of the other niggas.
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's not as personal. It's one of them things like, all right, dude, you deserve a tap now because I think you thought it was cool to just because you slid with the other things and I didn't say shit because, like I said, I was chalking it up to them being young and just kids, man. I'm like, but at the same time, at what point do I just gotta keep taking this shit?
Okay, that's the end of that. So,
Is there a part 4?
let me. Oh, something came out here. Part 4. Part 4. Maybe this is it.
This is a
Okay.
monster who did this.
So, we should do part 4 in the next video because it's like a 30-minute
I'm gonna
video.
switch topics because something I keep hearing this reoccurring theme.
It's a 30-minute video.
Okay, so we are going to go ahead and end this this interview. I'm not sure what happened. It goes in rows, and it goes in rows. It goes in order. So we seen part 3, like we're seeing part 4. So we just pushed part 3. assuming we're gonna get into part 3. But I guess there is no part 4. I'm so confused. But anyways, you guys got to see it again. It's okay. We can learn from it. We can talk about politics. We can talk about how we can take a stands against people who, when we talk, excuse me, of our freedoms. And I'm sorry, I'm drinking a lot of water. And we can do that, and he taught us that. So we're gonna end this with Emmy finish off.
Always sending our love from our family to yours.
Until the next vlog, you guys will see you then. Bye.
Bye.